When I'm not role-playing potential superfan encounters so I'm ready at NAM.
Oh my god, are you Sean Daniel?
Yeah, it's me.
I love your hair!
Oh, thank you. Would you like a piece?
I like to answer questions that I get on YouTube, so let's get to it. Do you need a monitor to hear yourself well if you perform a gig as a duo with just a guitar and one or two voices? Great question, and this is something that my answer on has kind of changed a little bit over time. Now, most of the gigs I play is like an acoustic duo type thing. I use my Bose L1S, which is amazing, and we just have it set up to the side. Now, generally in restaurants or like smaller private parties, you don't have like a huge stage or whatever, so you kind of have to have everything close to you, especially if you're running your own sound, right? Then last week, I got some footage from the gig that we did, just because I was thinking about maybe doing like a gig vlog or something, because I haven't done one of those in a while, and it ended up sounding like this.
Don't have to love me, but let's get high. Try to understand, sing it, try to understand. Try to understand. I'm a magic man. Woo!
So it ended up being a good show, but I was listening back to it, I'm like, wow, like my playing has like absolutely no dynamics at all. And I do remember in the show, when people started kind of getting up and like it became like an old person dance party, I definitely lost my ability to properly monitor myself. So really what's cool is xVive had sent me their wireless in-ear monitor set like a long time ago, and I've just been kind of sitting on it because like I don't know, when am I going to really use this, and I don't know if I want to demo it or whatever. But this was like the perfect time for me to check this out, and this has kind of changed my mind on when you might even need an in-ear monitor system. So we're going to talk about that for a second, right? So basically what an in-ear monitor system is you have a transmitter that comes out of your soundboard. You can use like a monitor out, something like that. Anything to transmit whatever is going through the mixer to a body pack right here. And this just clips on your belt. You may have seen like performers doing this in a bigger stage. And again, since I don't really play like huge stages or anything, I didn't think I needed one of these. But you can adjust the volume and it does get pretty loud. And then you plug a pair of headphones in here, okay? Now it doesn't come with headphones, but I use just some old M-Audio IE10s that I had. Now, they're not molded, okay? These are just basically just headphones, like single driver headphones that just go in your ear. And just being able to hear myself in the next gig I did really kind of like was a big difference, right? Like I thought I was able to hear myself for sure, but then I'm listening back to it, it's like everything I'm doing, I feel like I'm playing super hard, when I think it just generally sounds better when you can kind of just accurately hear yourself and then just play better, okay? I think it's really hard to properly understand how having bodies in a room in front and to the side of your monitoring system really eats up the sound and you're not getting like an accurate representation. So even in the moment when I was playing, I thought it sounded pretty good, and for what it was absolutely adequate and everybody loved it and had a good time. But I do think that listening on the playback is like, okay, maybe I need to like start using these for some of like the noisier sets with louder things. Now, the difference between molded and in-ear just regular headphones makes a big difference too, okay? Now the great thing about this is like it's super affordable, right? It's like ridiculously inexpensive compared to like other options. And also too, having actually molded in-ear monitors where they like are custom to the shape of your ear can cost $7, $8, $9, upwards of like $1,000 and more. So I was just using kind of like a cheaper pair of headphones, so the fact that that actually worked really well was really cool. And again, we can go on and on about just like how many different things you can get as far as like what headphones you want to use. Now the other thing I really want to shout out xVive, because I had this in my bag, right? And it comes with this because a lot of like the mixers that you'll see don't have the right type of output. They don't all have like XLR outputs or anything like that. So this is an XLR to 1/4-inch adapter that I actually didn't have one of these before they sent it to me. And I was at a show 2 weeks ago, and thank God this is in my bag because they had like a system that you could plug into, because it's like a big venue where they have like speakers going all throughout the restaurant and stuff. And I actually needed that for my mixer. I was woefully unprepared because they didn't let me know ahead of time what kind of system they had. I honestly didn't even know they had a system. So being able to get out of my mixer to XLR definitely was a lifesaver, because I have extra cables, but I didn't have like a 1/4-inch to XLR cable in there. So it comes with an adapter. Shout out to xVive for sending me the in-ear monitor transmitter stuff. And again, it's not for every gig. I think a lot of the times, if you can just kind of like accurately hear yourself close to your sound system, that's usually good enough for an acoustic duo. But as soon as people start getting in and it gets noisier, having a good in-ear system with molded monitors that have a little extra like noise cancellation and like noise rejection is really kind of essential to playing your best. I'm just learning, so this is probably a dumb question, but if you downtune and use a capo, doesn't that nullify the whole reason you downtuned? Not a dumb question at all. You may think so, but actually there is a big difference, okay? So the reason you haven't seen the Taylor in a lot of videos recently is because I've been keeping this in D standard, because that just kind of fits my voice better for when I'm kind of just like writing and stuff. Now, tuning down, what it does, it opens up a extended lower range for chords you can play, which you can just, put the capo on the 2nd fret because I tuned it down 2 half steps. So now when I put the capo on the 2nd fret, this would be an E major chord, so I'm back in E standard. But the thing is, it doesn't sound exactly like how if I had this tuned up to E and just played an open E major chord. Because once you loosen the slack of all the strings on an acoustic guitar, or on an electric guitar too, but mostly it makes a bigger difference on acoustic in my opinion, it just really kind of changes the tone of your instrument, right? All that extra slack just kind of, to me, brings like a bigger, kind of more open, I guess, woody sound, for lack of a better word. So even though, yes, you are right, when you put the capo on the 2nd fret, all the notes are still going to be the same to nullify the downtuning. It does sound different, and for where my voice sits, I would rather have the extended lower range than be able to play up here more. So, maybe if you find yourself having to get your capo like on the 7th, 8th, or 9th fret or something, really, why don't you just try downtuning and playing your songs lower and see how your voice sits there? Because, again, I'll probably always keep this Taylor in D standard because it sounds so good. Someone please teach this guy how to play. He's ruining beginners that don't know any better. He's a complete talentless hack. That's about par for the course for Salty Blues comment. But the funny thing is, the way that YouTube Creator Studio organizes comments, they do it as far as like when they were released. And funny enough, this guy had a few of them right in a row. So the next one was, only he can't even play Wonderwall. LOL trash. And then, a minute later he said, don't listen to this F. A metronome is a sample for learning great rhythm. This dude is completely ruining beginners. Wow. Worst guitar channel I've ever seen, and it's not even close. But he wasn't even done. There was another one. Is this a parody channel making fun of guitar teachers or what? I don't get it. Or is he just terrible but thinks he's good? For being the worst guitar channel ever, you sure watched a lot of Sean Daniel videos on that late night binge. Man, thinking about salty comments, it's like, all right, maybe someone's just kind of having a bad day and projecting. But when you're like really going ham like that, and just getting lit on a Friday night, and then like binge hate watching videos, that's pretty psychotic in my estimation. Downloaded, nice sound. What is next? Thank you very much. This is in relation to the newest Ryder track I posted, where it's just me, kind of acoustic, just jamming out. Yeah, so released a bunch of new music. Now it's kind of like, what's next? As this video is released, I'll currently be out in Los Angeles talking about potentially what is next. Definitely have more new music coming. Rocking with my dude Pasha on violin. Shout out to the guy. He's a legend. So we've got a lot more stuff coming soon. We've got some music with him and Andrea. The Emeryld Ryders is not dead. This isn't going to be one of those things where we just, drop the world's greatest album and then never revisit it again. We're already working on some other stuff that we might kind of like. I think we might release it as singles coming up, so something like that's coming soon. And definitely probably some more rock stuff. And really, I don't know. I'm just going to keep messing around, just rocking whatever I can, so stay tuned. Sean, can you please explain why major 7 is the ultimate chord? I would love to. Thank you for asking. So let's start with like a D. Because it is the key of 2020, right? Actually, so this is downtuned, so it's actually not even a D, but whatever. I'm thinking of this as a D major right now, okay? Here we go. Triad. Cool. We have a root note, a major 3rd, and a 5th. And it sounds good. It sounds classic. Your grandpappy's favorite chord, right? But once we make it a D major 7, all of a sudden there's some depth, all right? So the thing that I love about major 7 chords is, aside from just, it sounds good, and before I even understood any music theory, I just always like the sound of them, right? But I think, now that I know a little bit more, if we arpeggiate it, right? If we just take, like, the root note, the 3rd, the 5th, and then right there, that major 7, that interval just has like a lot of emotion to it, where it's like not super, I don't want to say like happy is the right word, because again, the 1 chord or the 4 chord are usually major chords in a key, right? And there's something innately just kind of like bland and happy about that. So I think major 7 adds a little bit of a question to it, almost like a bittersweetness, I guess is kind of how I would describe it. And just really adds like a lot of depth. So when it comes to like songwriting, I think that's something that, you know, you maybe want to try to relate in certain circumstances, you know? I might overuse it, but then, no, of course I don't overuse it. You kidding me? D major 7 to C major 7 on a downtune Taylor acoustic. Yeah, do I have to say any more? Come on. For listening homework, I'm going to throw you back to Susanne Sundfor. I got that Spotify thing of like my most listened to songs of last year, and I was kind of surprised that actually she took the top spot, but then I'm actually not surprised because Silicone Veil, I think, is one of the great albums of all time. So we're going to throw you to another track off of that. It's fantastic. Definitely check it out. Make sure to check out one of the masterclasses if you want to help support the cause. Links are below. And again, any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section, Instagram, Twitter, or the website. I'll talk to you all soon. Thanks a lot.